How's it going, everybody? Let's make this short and sweet. I found myself something pretty freaking busted. We're going to talk about everything in the build right now. Talk about the vivisecting knife because this is one thing I got to get out of the way. And disclaimer, you do not need this for the build, okay? Next, we're going to talk about the enhancement that I have on here. It's a double enhancement, backup and accelerator, gun damage, status effect. You already know all that good stuff. Now, the Cinder Shelly glass, spike, and amp. This is always going to come with glass. Get yourself amp, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. Next, we're going to talk about the Undead Eye class mod. You're going to need this, absolutely. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the stim. You do not need this. You can have whatever stim you want. I choose amp. Amp is beautiful. Love amp. Why? Because we get to do stuff like this, ladies and gentlemen. We can just activate our skill and sit there and shoot forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and never lose our skill. Just as long as you're throwing that throwing knife, just as long as you're hitting those blood shots, you'll be able to pump out thousands of damage per shot. So let's just get right on into the build. Grave sight, 5 out of 5. Next, grave implements, 4 out of 5. Next, bloodletter, 1 out of 5. And material components, target precision, 5 out of 5. Grave power, 3 out of 5. Keen mind, 5 out of 5. Drink full, 5 out of 5. Grave vitality, 5 out of 5. Essence leech, 5 out of 5. Blood is power, 3 out of 3. Bloodshot, 3 out of 5. And then I decided to put my last 2 points to get more cooldown, or action skill cooldown, sorry, and put it in Grave Sustenance in the red tree. I feel like I had to speak about Energy Vampire because it's one of the ones that I do use for this build. I switch between that skill and another skill that I'm going to talk about soon, but Energy Vampire is just a dot damage that spreads out to any player that is near you. So you could be shooting one, and whoever's near you is going to be taking that dot damage. So obviously in the background, you're looking at gameplay for Energy Vampire in the Ripper Robert fight. I decided to come to this boss fight because it's a perfect demonstration for this build. When you're going for a crowd control / bossing build, I suggest going for any boss fight that has a whole bunch of condensed enemies like a slaughterhouse. We really want a slaughterhouse, but we haven't had it yet, and I am hoping that we get ourselves a slaughterhouse pretty soon, sooner than later. And as you can see, you can pretty much melt bosses with this. And to make it even more broken, you can do this without having to use Energy Vampire, which is what I'm going to get into right now. Right after I just, yeah, there we go. Let him die. Then we can get to the next demonstration. Witchy Finger. This is what Witchy Finger does. Activate your ability, and you just loop. If you manage to get yourself looped in like this, you'll have it so you never reload. And it's kind of unnecessary to do something like this, but why not? Why wouldn't we want to shoot infinitely? Why wouldn't we want to have our skills active infinitely without having to activate any glitches or using the pen knife? You can straight up just do this infinitely. This is mostly for the infinite skill, but then I just thought to myself, Witchy Finger allows you to refill your magazine every time you throw an Eldritch Blast. So I decided, why don't I just throw an Eldritch Blast and shoot at the same time? And this is what I came up with. So you can swap between Energy Vampire or Witchy Blast, whichever suits your fancy, and play with either or. I personally like to use Energy Vampire for crowd control and Witchy Finger for bossing. That way I can just pump out a whole bunch of bullets on them, and the extra damage also helps. Alright, so I did forget to mention the shotgun that I'm using in the video. It's called the BL4 shotgun. If you are looking to get this shotgun, you're going to want to go all the way over here, specifically right here in the middle, and that's it.